Let's talk about Star Wars.
Oh, God.
Daisy Ridley's Star Wars film gets yet another new writer. Will this be
Will
the last
this
one?
one last?
That is a true question at this point. So it has
Yeah.
been announced that Lucasfilm has hired yet another new writer for the upcoming Rey trilogy that never seems to leave production hell. George. Why what?
No one likes Rey.
Okay, hold on. You're not wrong, but it's because the character has no character. Daisy Ridley's a good actress.
Daisy Ridley's a great actress. She's just given zero material in those films.
I'm not blaming her. I never blame the actresses. It is normally not their fault.
Like, the idea of... Okay. I don't do this very often. I guess let's go on a rant about the sequel trilogy.
Oh, what?
In that kind of a positive way of it. To me, the first movie is just garbage. We're just going to pretty much ignore it. It was an interesting idea of making her into a Palpatine. It also makes the weird question of how? But
who did what with who?
Exactly.
Palpatine.
But to me, it was an interesting idea because you could build more of that inner conflict of a character, of her whole family line is evil. Long line of evil. To me, that'd be kind of an inner conflict. My problem is, they said, who needs inner conflict when you could just be good? And she was good. Mm-hmm. There was no story building of it. There was no reason to announce her as a Palpatine because they did nothing with that bit of information. It was, you're a Palpatine, but you can choose to be whatever you want.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they change writers a lot in the sequel in that trilogy?
They changed
every movie had a different set of writers.
Which
I didn't know that
at all. Because I know, like the second one,
if I remember right,
the second one I felt like had a story actually building, and then they ignore it all.
The second one, we sit there, and the biggest conflict the whole way is just the Resistance needs to run away, and so the entire movie is us watching a ship slowly drift forward in front of the Empire.
Yes.
First Order, sorry.
But
yeah,
the knockoff Empire.
They go on the side quest and they build these characters up and build their stories, and then we do absolutely nothing with it.
Correct. Well, because like we get in the first movie, we get hints that Poe. It is Poe, right? The Finn. Thank you. Might actually have force abilities or force powers.
They do nothing with it.
They do nothing with it. Like, that was an interesting concept. Like, we've never seen an adult in the movie series come into his own and starting to figure it out, besides Luke.
There's the Chromie stormtrooper person.
Captain Phasma. All of her content was cut from Last Jedi. I'm gonna bond so hard. I'm done. No, we're done. I'm into this conversation before I begin.
But hey, just remember, Ben Solo may return in the next movie. It'll be her kid whose father was named Ben Solo.
What?
You gotta
get me out of here.
You gotta get the shipper something at this point.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Anywho. Okay.
Abort.
We gotta finish the article.
Abort!
We didn't really even talk about the article.
Abort!
I sidetracked.
So far, 4 writers have been tied to the movie and were fired or left. Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson were the first writers attached to the Rey films, but according to Lindelof, he was asked to lead the project. He later joked the picketing during the strikes was more fun than writing for Star Wars. This is why I wanted to keep going, because
that's funny.
This article's pretty
I like
funny.
That.
After these two came Stephen Knight, Peaky Blinders.
It's a show he wrote on Peaky Blinders.
Gotcha.
He
worked on the project until last October. He then was also removed. Then came Simon Kinberg, who was announced last November. He only made it this far. He was supposed to be writing the scripts with Kathleen Kennedy, and now he must either be gone, as it's being reported that George Nolfi is writing it, or he is working on something else in Lucasfilm. What is going on? They just don't know where to go. The new trilogy is said to take place 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker, with Rey now training new Jedi the way Luke Skywalker was supposed to do. Yet somehow, I'm sure she won't suddenly try to kill her new nephew or act like a hermit. But I digress. Justin's gone.
Yeah, I'm staying and stretching. Sorry.
You're good.
Filling out the water.
I mean, again, the biggest thing is they just don't know what to do with it. They don't know where to go.
I know. Ask George.
Why ask me? I would have
Wrong George.
my opinion. Oh, George Lucas?
Yeah.
He's just a crazy old guy they can't talk to anymore.
Who knew what he was doing?
I mean,
No,
frankly enough, he probably would tell them at this point to drop these and go back to the original scripts that they had already started working on. Which is kind of where my opinion is you just gotta you gotta erase the last three and go back and rebuild that time period like people want.
Yeah.
And cater to your fans, because your fans give you money.
Yes.
Anything else, Job? Any other rants or displeases you want to throw in? Comes from one of the biggest Star Wars fans I used to know.
I hate Star Wars.
It used to be good. Okay.